Hey, what's up, Questers, and happy Monday. Let's talk about what's happening this week in the world of the Oculus Quest. Let's get the biggest news out of the way first, and that is Resident Evil 4 finally launches on the Quest 2 this week on October 21st. Yes, the game is finally here. We heard about it earlier on this year, and we are now seeing the fruits of our waiting in this game launching in just 3 days. I don't know about you, but I am incredibly excited for this game to be out in the world and to be able to enter the world of Resident Evil 4 again as Leon Kennedy. This game is completely redesigned for virtual reality with VR interactions and a whole first-person campaign. It has been a very long time since I played through this game. I think it might have been the GameCube when I last actually completed the game. I have played it here and there on a few other platforms just to mess around with, but I have not completed it in a long time, so I am very, very excited to be able to jump back into this world and play through the game. It actually gets me more excited for other games that could potentially be ported as well. If Oculus is serious about bringing big titles to the platform, we very well could see some other titles brought to the Quest 2. Not just Resident Evil, although I would love to see things like Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, which would be terrifying, brought to the platform, but also other big games from other companies. In fact, Capcom has some other amazing IPs that would fit really well in VR if they were redesigned. So with this being launching, I really hope that Connect will be able to hear some more games that they're bringing to the platform, both new titles that are original to VR and ports of older games, because it breathes new life into the games and into the platform. If Resident Evil 4 is not your thing, also launching this week is Unplugged, the air guitar simulator, if you will, where you'll be playing as a rock guitarist, starting from the bottom and building your way up. You'll unlock guitars, new places to play as you become a rock legend. I featured this game on the channel a while ago, and I have to say, I'm very excited for the full release because it was fantastic in the demo form that I had. So if you're looking to play something that is like Guitar Hero but uses hand tracking and it's just revolutionary in VR, then I highly recommend checking the game out when it launches this Thursday. So there's two huge games really for me that launch this week. Now, I mentioned Facebook Connect once already, but let's just remind people that 10 days from today is Facebook Connect. Do we know what's going to happen? Heck no, we don't, but hopefully some big stuff. For me, hardware announcements are awesome, and I expect something from a hardware announcement, but I personally really want to hear about more games. I would love to hear that something like Lone Echo 2, for instance, was making its way to the Quest 2 platform because it's a revolutionary game, and I would play through it again entirely if it allowed me on the Quest platform just for the sake of seeing the story again. But aside from that, I really hope we get some big game announcements, although game announcements are probably not going to be the primary focus of Facebook Connect. It's mostly a developer conference where they announce new hardware. They have sessions scheduled with a lot of people inside of Oculus and even John Carmack's unscripted talk that he always has. But I hope that the primary keynote that is being led by Mark Zuckerberg will be a revolutionary keynote. I really hope we hear some crazy cool stuff. And even if we don't get necessarily specific announcements on dates for games, I would love to see a compilation of games coming to the platform. Heck, I would love to see an announcement about Snowdrift, which was announced, I think, 2 years ago now as coming to the Quest, and we haven't heard anything since then. Needless to say, we need some big games. Yes, Resident Evil 4 is great, but that's one game, and you can't let one game be a system seller, in my opinion. I think it needs to have many games to draw more people in, and I really hope that we see that happening this year at Connect with some massive game announcements and some really cool game trailers. A couple of bits of news this week. A brand new game called Shotwood is making its way to the Quest platform, actually through App Lab, but it looks pretty cool, so I wanted to share it with all of you. It's releasing on Rift on October 28th, with a Quest version coming later on this year, I think in December. In this game, you'll be inside of a mysterious facility with 17 different weapons with realistic reloading and customization. And you'll be tasked with working your way through different kill houses, if you will, with wooden targets. Now, there seems to be a lot more to this game, as there's even a arcade cabinet you can play, as well as a couple of mini games that include a sword and shield, and some very mysterious stuff happening in this facility. You're seeing the trailer here right now. It looks to be actually pretty freaking cool. If you enjoy kill houses, which may be the wrong word for this, but target practice is essentially what it is, then you'll probably like this game. It seems to have some similarities with Gun Club, although the story in this seems to be somewhat unique and a little bit creepy. I'll put a link to the trailer in the description if you want to check it out, and you'll see exactly what I mean. Also, what you're seeing on the screen right now, a game that is going to be fantastic, I think, in VR, and that is Iron Rebellion. This is a mech 1v1 battle game that looks like it's been worked on to death to make it exactly what it needs to be. It looks pretty fun, I'm not gonna lie. It's launching in early access on Steam VR and on App Lab in the next few weeks. The trailer you're seeing right now really showcases some of the gameplay with an interactive cockpit and some pretty fantastic combat. We really need a mech game on the Quest platform, a good mech game. Then this looks like it very well could be it. This is going to be in early access, but there is a roadmap for additional content, which includes additional weapons, eventual 4v4 multiplayer support, new mechs, modes, mods, and even more than that. The goal, it would seem, is eventually to release the final version with around 9 classes of mechs, 12 different weapons, and 3 different maps. With 4v4 and those combinations, I think that it could be a lot of fun to play. And I, for one, have been looking for a mech game on Quest for quite some time. Voodoo launched this past week on the Oculus Quest, but if reviews are any indication, then it's a dumpster fire, it would seem. I have a lot of movies in my Voodoo account, which was recently purchased by Fandango now, I believe. You can watch movies like Free Guy, Jungle Cruise by either renting them or buying them, and you can also have your entire library available if you have a library of digital titles like I do. The problem seems to be is that it is just awful. It's got some awful reviews. In fact, it's got one of the lowest scores I think I've seen on the Quest store, with people saying it just doesn't work properly, the playback is choppy, it doesn't look good. It's free, so you can check it out if you want. I have not done so yet, but I think it needs a lot of updates to make it anywhere near usable, unfortunately. Real VR Fishing has a major update coming out in the near future. In fact, it was supposed to be on October 20th, but it's actually been pushed back to November 6th. We saw the 2-year anniversary of the game in September, and it's getting a massive update with changes to the mechanics, sound effects, just the gameplay overall, from what I've heard, has been completely overhauled and makes it even better, which is a feat because the game was already fantastic in the first place. Unfortunately, it has been pushed back to November 6th, but as a consolation, the developers are offering a special pair of gloves when the update hits in November. Also, if you didn't know, we're going to be getting 2 US-themed DLC packs. The US West DLC is going to be launching apparently at some point before the end of the year, so you'll be able to fish and visit spots in the western part of the United States sometime before the end of 2021. Last week saw the launch of an interesting game on the Quest store in MVP football, the Patrick Mahomes experience. Now, Patrick Mahomes' name alone, if you are an NFL football fan, is a big deal, and the game has a lot of potential. Unfortunately, there is some things holding it back. One of them being that you can't actually move around inside of the game unless you're physically moving in real life. There is no artificial locomotion, so when they hike the ball to you, you just stand static and throw the football. It feels a little odd being so stagnant. It does play really fun, and it's cool to have full games to play with 15-minute quarters, like an actual football game. You can start off in high school and play high school, college, and then pro, with the difficulty changing as well as the locations you play changing as you play through each game. You actually have plays you can call on your wrist and a playbook you can customize with the plays that you want to be able to call on the field. And you can even watch the defense play on the field while you're on the sideline to see how your defense is doing stopping the opponent. The visuals are pretty basic in a lot of ways, especially the crowds are just blocks bouncing up and down, but that to me is not so big of a deal as the gameplay. The things that I would love to see changed in this game are the addition of the ability to move around artificially using the sticks so that you can get out of the pocket and move around. And also, I would love to see some more interaction with the defensive side of the game, like a coach mode, if you will. When you're on the sideline, you're calling defensive plays. Either way, it's another football game on the Quest store. The lack of big sports games on the platform is definitely noticeable, so anything that gets added is a good thing. This game, though, for the price, is a little bit disappointing as of right now. I really hope that they take this game and continue to update it and make it better. And Patrick, Mr. Mahomes, I would love to challenge you to a duel of virtual football. Let's get together on a field after this season is over and see who can throw the virtual football better. I know in real football you'd cream me, but maybe I have a chance if it's virtual. There you go. That's what I have for you this Monday for Quest news updates and game launches. I'm going to try to do this every single Monday so you guys get the information that you need going into the week, and hopefully it makes your Monday a little bit better. Are you grabbing either one of these new games this week? Are you going to grab Resident Evil 4, or are you going to grab Unplugged, or maybe you're going to grab both? Let me know down in the comments which one you're looking forward to the most, and if you want to get the most out of your Quest and your Quest 2, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there and the bell icon for notifications. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and happy questing.